It's always fun to be present for a new obsession to develop with Donald Trump, but here it is. Donald Trump is apparently having trouble deciding whether or not he wants to beat Kamala Harris in this electoral race, or apparently if he wants to date her because she is so beautiful. This new weird obsession that Donald Trump has is basically waffling back and forth between calling Harris beautiful and then, of course, saying that he is much better looking than she is. It all began recently when Donald Trump did his little sit-down interview with Elon Musk, where he talked about Harris being on the cover of Time magazine, where he said, quote, "She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. Actually, she looked very much like a great First Lady, Melania. She didn't look like Kamala. But of course, she's a beautiful woman, so we'll leave it at that, right?" That's what Trump said in his interview with Elon Musk. And then 5 days later, he goes to his rally in Pennsylvania and says, quote, "Don't ever call a woman beautiful because that'll be the end of your political career, but I say that I am much better looking. I'm a better looking person than Kamala." And then he moved on, started talking about other things, but not long after that, he decided, you know what, I'm not done talking about how attractive or not attractive I find this woman. So he went back to it and said this. "They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, huh? I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is." So he, again, in the same speech, went back to, well, I'm much better looking than she is. And at times, Donald Trump, of course, has been known to engage in a little bit of self-deprecation, and that could be what he's doing, but that doesn't change the fact that he did comment about how, oh my God, look at her on the magazine cover. She looks like the most beautiful actress to ever live. So he thinks she's beautiful. He thinks she's not beautiful. Sounds like a guy who's really torn on whether or not he has a crush on someone. Or a guy who's torn on the fact that he does have a crush, but he doesn't want his buddies to know that he's got a crush on her. So he's doing the grade school thing and being like, ew, no, Kamala has cooties. I'm totally not interested in her, but she is beautiful. This is weird, okay? This isn't normal. But this is where Donald Trump's campaign is. And all of these other Republicans out there saying, oh, golly gee, I wish he would focus on policy instead of, all the personal attacks. Okay, well, part of this is a personal attack, and part of it is just a creepy predator looking on saying, oh, wow, isn't she beautiful just like an actress? I like that. But let's not forget, Trump did a similar thing with judging the women who were running for office in 2016. Right? He attacked Hillary Clinton as a nasty woman, and of his fellow Republican rival, Carly Fiorina, he actually said this about her at the time. "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that? The face of our next president?" And of course, about Hillary Clinton, he had said, if Hillary Clinton can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she can satisfy America? So in Donald Trump's world, and this is probably not a shock to anyone, women only have value to the extent that he finds them attractive, or to the extent that they perform certain duties for their husband. That is a woman's worth in Donald Trump's world. And I can't stress that enough. I mean, this is where we are with the convicted felon running at the top of the Republican ticket. Openly objectifying women. Okay, we're in the year 2024. If you were running for office in the 1910s or 1920s, you could probably get away with comments like this. The problem is he's running in 2024 and is getting away with comments like this. Donald Trump says so many crazy and stupid and bizarre and creepy things on a daily basis that it's almost impossible for the media to keep up with them. I get that. Trust me, I do it every day too. Sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles. But this kind of seems like the type of thing that the media really should have picked up on. Not just because, wow, this is creepy, but because of Donald Trump's history. Need I remind you that when he first ran for office in 2016, a report from Huffington Post identified, I think it was 42 women who had come forward with some kind of harassment or even some going as far as, saying inappropriate contact against Donald Trump. Almost 4 dozen women. That doesn't even include E. Jean Carroll. And we all know how those lawsuits ended for Donald Trump. Jury found him liable for the assault. This is who Trump is. So him sitting there objectifying the vice president of the United States is not just a creepy new obsession. It's in line with how this man preys on women. The Access Hollywood tape, another phenomenal example. Hell, quotes from him going all the way back, to the 90s when he said, quote, "It doesn't matter what the media writes as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass." And then in the early 2000s, he bragged about seeing half-naked Miss Universe contestants and made his infamous grab them by the you-know-what comment. We should not sit here and act like it's normal for this man who is, by all the things he said in the past, a predator. We should not allow a predator to make these comments about the vice president or about the former secretary of state or about anyone and act like, oh, it's not a big deal. That's not worth covering. It's not worth talking about. He's a predator. This is the guy on video partying with Jeffrey Epstein, giggling to him in the corner, pointing out women, talking about how hot they are. This is not acceptable behavior. I mean, if Harvey Weinstein went out there and did that, that would be headline news across the country for days, right? Because, hey, the dude's a predator. Well, here we have Donald Trump, who may not have obviously been convicted, so we can't call him some of the names that we would like to call him legally. But the history speaks for itself. The women that have come forward have told a story. They have painted a picture of a pattern of behavior that this man has engaged in for decades. And at the very least, if you're not going to believe the dozens of women who have come forward with Trump doing horrible things to them, then maybe at least you could listen to Trump's own words. It only matters if you got a nice, beautiful piece of ass next to you. Or when you're a celebrity, when you're famous, they let you do it. Okay? This man has admitted to us, to the public, that he is in fact a predator. So when he goes out there and starts talking about Kamala Harris either being beautiful or in his eyes not beautiful, whatever, remember, this is coming from a man that was found liable for a sexual assault. This is coming from a man who has cheated on every wife he's ever had, including with an adult film star. This is coming from a serial philanderer. And of course, based on the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit, clearly a predator. And that makes it all the more creepy and makes it even more important for the media to give these things the kind of coverage that they deserve. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.